Welcome to Egg Foo. What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to an episode of Ekfu. What? Young Michael, I can't help but notice you seem to have a shirt with a collar and buttons on it. Do you have any news? Is this related to the big job news from last week? Do you have an announcement to make?
I talked a little bit this last night on the best show. I
Oh,
think the
excuse us.
think
Oh, gee. Go to the microfiche. I'll get the transcript.
they got the scoop. They got the scoop. No, I had the interview on Monday. I think it went well. This is just a sort of get to know you, see that you're not some sort of monster. I guess that you're capable of having a conversation and talking about yourself. So that's what I did. Very nice. It is weird though, as an elderly fellow, to be interviewed by a young lady who's probably less than half my age.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something new in my life.
You
Like I
said,
said, I think it went nice. She was perfectly pleasant,
Mm.
and we had a nice little conversation. Um,
Listen here, little girlie. I've known about animals since you was in short pants.
I mean, she did throw some those sort of typical interview questions that I haven't heard in ages. I was like, oh, this again. you know, uh
Where are you
yes.
gonna be in 5 years?
Well, yeah, not that one
Ed.
specifically, but the one I guess that sort of gave me the most pause was who inspires you?
Oh God.
And and had to think about it. I'm like, I don't want to say some famous person or
You should have said Stalin.
no, so it actually the interview took place like the first anniversary since my father passed, so he was on my mind. So I mentioned him, thinking about what I found out about him after the fact, unfortunately, about him getting that playground built and stuff. So I mentioned that little anecdote. I think it went over well. Um, Coming home, I was sort of kicking myself. Maybe I should have got in a plug for Egg Foo What, maybe mention you.
Would have been nice.
And then I'm thinking, well, no. I mean, then she'll go down the Google hole of looking up
I
Greg
mean,
Wilson and
well, she's probably
put,
already done that. I mean,
couldn't, couldn't
I
put
mean,
that upon her.
using the dead father,
Hmm.
Michael, shame on you.
Well, like I said, it was on my
That is,
mind. I wasn't going to say, I didn't, I don't really have somebody. I don't have like some sort of hero that I keep before me all time. Do you? How would
uh,
you have answered?
I'm talking to him right now. I just said something like Oscar Wilde or something.
Oscar
I
Wilde.
wouldn't. I don't think I would have said a real person. But
Well,
yeah,
Oscar
dumb
Wilde was a
question.
real person. I mean,
It's a dumb question. It is like, lady, I just want to drive the truck around some animals. You know.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I went with it. I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, I was thinking of my father that day. So it's like, okay, it's like, let's keep it real. I'm not going to talk about some famous person or some
Yeah.
president or something.
How'd she react?
She was good. She was taking notes. I was curious about the little notes she was taking. I don't know if I got a shot of the notes. She's they probably like idiot moron.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Mike. Might not have said that.
Yeah, but anyway, I do have to wait a couple weeks to hear back. They're actually doing something different this year. They're opening instead of just weekends. They're actually going to open for 2 weeks starting this weekend
Uh-huh.
to try and get that spring break crowd.
You said you told him you can get that crowd. You said, look, just give me a shot.
Hey, I told him I could start tomorrow. I was kind of trying to be an eager beaver,
Oh,
I was
eager
like,
beaver. Look at you. You said, hey, look, I just want to do the work.
I need to get out of the house more often.
I'm
Please help
all
me
about
here.
the work. Well, now, what was the exact date for your father?
It was actually, it's sort of like late night, the 25th. 25th, technically, I guess 26th.
I got to be honest. The last couple of weeks, I've been trying to figure it out because I was like, then I'm going to surprise you with a gift basket on the
You
1 year
and you
at
blew it
date.
again. You blew it again.
But then I was like, well, how do I ask? Like, how do I figure? I was hoping to kind of get it out of you naturally.
Uh-huh.
So I guess we roll that over to next year, hopefully. Well, either way, I hope he helps you get this job. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why it's going to take them a couple of weeks.
Well, I think they did hire a crew probably, which, the guy who sort of tipped me off to the job is
Mhm.
probably going to be working these 2 weeks coming up, and then they go back to weekends for a few weeks, and then I don't think they open permanently until like maybe end of April.
I mean, you should put it out there that you love the Safari game, but you'd hate to have to take your talents to Six Flags if they can
Well, no,
continue
this,
to dither.
this is a Six Flags company.
Yeah. He's embarrassed me in front of our fans, Mike. Feel like a big man.
It used to be independent of Six Flags, but then Six Flags, I guess, is the theme park
That's what
monopoly.
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Do you have a Six Flags near you?
I've never been to Six Flags. The big ones for us was well, King's Dominion, the main
Yeah,
one.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Then there's down near Williamsburg, there's Busch Gardens,
Hmm.
which was always I've only been a handful of times, and it's always been like as an adult, so I've never even gone on the rides. It always seemed like a little more grown up.
Uh-huh.
Like it's like, oh, this area is like what it's like to be in Germany or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Whereas Kings Dominion is just straight up rides.
Yeah,
Uh,
Disney World has that. What is it, Epcot or whatever?
Never been
Where?
there either. So,
All right.
but
You never.
Kings Dominion was definitely the shit when I was a kid. So,
Yeah, you went there a couple times.
well, back when I was a kid, well, like one summer, my brother and I we got season passes, which was like
Mhm.
$16. Like if you went twice,
Wow,
your ticket was
16 bucks.
paid
Wow.
for. We got in a groove. We'd go like once or twice a week, and just there were basically two roller coasters, the Rebel Yell and the Grizzly. And the Grizzly was held together by 2x4s. You sit there and just watch
Mhm.
them shake. Now the whole thing was bought by Universal, so now there's like a million different, you know, whatever the cartoon characters of the movies are, they all have their rides. I'm sure
Okay.
it's recognizable, but yeah, King's Dominion was the big one for me. So
You didn't work there though, huh?
no, a bunch of my friends in high school did.
Oh, really? Okay. It was that
It
close? It was close, relatively close.
was like 40 minutes. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
pretty, relatively close. It was a fairly normal drive for something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where for some reason, like, yeah, if you a lot of kids would work there. So,
Yeah, well, that's what
that
Great
movie
Adventure was for
Adventureland.
me. Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch Adventureland before you start.
Uh,
You
and it
see
was
that?
strange. It was strange when the uh I went to the interview. It was across the street from the main entrance to the park, and there was a big roller coaster behind the building that I had to go to. And I thought it was a retired roller coaster from my days called the Lightning Loops, but it was actually it was actually Nitro. Uh, but I was asking about it as I was leaving, and I just wanted to sort of flex my knowledge of the history.
Let them know, bro. Let them know.
I've been here since I was here back when you had the lightning loops,
That's
and
right. Called respect.
it turned out to be Nitro, which I also had the experience of riding on. You weren't with us when Will and Gina, I think Helen came down, uh, went to Great Adventures like over Halloween.
I wasn't invited. No.
No,
No. Thanks.
you prefer to hang out at the Turkey's Nest for the day, and
That or I was sitting by myself at 100 Metro waiting for someone to call. Yeah.
sorry, didn't want to rub it in, but yeah, I didn't
When
remember you being
when
part of
would
that
when
trip.
when would this have been? What year would this have been?
You know what? I'm so bad with this.
I know. I'm just trying to expose you.
Yeah,
Now that
it's got
you,
to be
now that you embarrassed me.
when I don't even have a clue. It's got to be at least 10 years ago. So it's got to be a while.
Yeah.
Actually, you were out of Brooklyn by then, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be more than 10 years. It's probably like
Yeah.
13 or 14.
I mean, I blocked it out because obviously it hurt when I didn't get the invite. So
But yeah, we had a nice day, and that's when I went on Nitro. And yeah, Nitro, I described the ride as being, it's got this one huge drop, and you literally get the feeling that you're going right into the ground. I mean, it's like almost like a vertical drop. You're like, how's this thing gonna pull out of this? I'm going right into the ground now. But
this is it. This is it.
this is it. This is the
This is
end.
it.
But it was an exciting ride,
Yeah.
and I guess it's still part of the park. So
Uh,
anyway, so fingers
I
crossed
was
on
back here during lightning loops. Mike Lisk, damn it.
Mike Lisk. Yeah, I mentioned my grounds. I didn't get into the details of my grounds experience.
You can't lay it. You can't lay it on them all at once. You got
No,
to
no.
dribble it out there. Let him learn it.
I could have, had a little joke about the uniform. It was a yellow shirt with green pants. A really interesting combo.
Is it still the uniform?
I don't know what the uniform is like today. No, I don't know.
You
I
should
have no
show
idea.
up. You should get something that approximates that and show up on your first day and tell everybody that's your uniform from 1980 or whatever.
I think my uniform for the driving job is going to be some sort of
Suit?
khaki pants and
Oh.
the old khaki pants, and maybe a shirt of some kind, official shirt.
Now,
But
what's gonna happen if you don't get this job
well,
after
I
all?
will be crushed. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been excited ever since I heard about this thing, and so yeah, I will be crushed, and we'll probably be off for a few weeks as I recover. But
Yeah.
I think my feeling is good. You keep hearing these stories about how it's hard for places to fill jobs and so on. This is only a seasonal job. So I'm thinking your serious job seekers are looking for more permanent employment.
Mhm.
I'm looking to have some fun and make a few bucks. And I'm hoping,
That's life. That's the
yeah,
Mike Risk way.
I'm
Have some
hoping,
fun, make a few bucks.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
But so yeah,
Well,
just
good luck, brother.
yeah, just hoping on that.
I
So you were
mean,
on Twitter earlier today, starting a little ruckus.
I did.
Did you just read Our Band Could Be no what is the name of that book? Our
That
Band
man
Could
could be your life.
Your Life, yes.
Um, I don't know why it popped into my head the other day. I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember when that book came out, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I had that book. I wore that book out so hard. I mean, it wore my fingerprints off at one point.
Hmm.
Because back then, I think other than that Gina Arnold book that came out in the mid-90s, that was the first time I opened up a book and saw anybody writing about the Replacements and Husker Du.
Right.
My brains were like oozing out of my head.
Hmm.
And so Our Band Could Be Your Life, that was like the first time like that whole genre was like
Yeah.
seriously in a book form.
Hmm.
So I ate that up. And yeah, I don't know why it came up the other day. But it just occurred to me to rank the bands in order of how much I like them. And to wonder, and let me blow your mind here if you don't mind, young Michael. Like I said, I read this book 9,000 times. It didn't occur to me until today. Why wasn't REM featured in it?
I was going to ask you, do you know the year it came out?
I think 2001, 2000.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it came out after REM was a success. So I'm thinking maybe they already sort of chalked off REM as like big time. Let's stick to more alternative bands that didn't quite make it, as big as REM. That's just my theory. I mean,
Maybe,
but
but they were the most influential band of that genre in most ways. It just I'm also just blown away that never occurred to me to ask, but
Did you check the maybe they're mentioned quite a bit. Did you check
I'm sure they're mentioned
the
throughout.
index maybe with, you know?
But it's funny that they're not a subject like an entire chapter like the other bands.
Yeah.
But I did cause a kerfuffle. I didn't take more than a minute to rank these bands. When I say kerfuffle, I mean 3 or 4 people commented on it. For me,
Well,
that's a
well,
kerfuffle.
that was enough to get my attention. And
Yeah,
so
for me,
I'm
that's a
like,
kerfuffle.
okay, this is some good fodder for the show. Content.
Uh, so what do I have? Obviously, number one, the replacements.
I have the replacements number one as well.
Number two, who's could do?
Also, number two.
Look at us. We are
Yeah, look at us.
simpatico.
A little
Uh,
consensus.
the next two, I could probably flip back and forth. Mission of Burma and Dinosaur Jr.
Okay. Now this is where I defer.
But you don't know what you're talking about.
And I guess this is what caused a little bit of the controversy on Twitter today. Your ranking of Minutemen. I have Minutemen as number 3.
Yeah, I was talking today. I've never been able to get into the Minutemen. Like,
Uh,
I get it. They were a big influence. They were a whole part of that scene. Michael's holding up an album right now. Uh,
Punchline,
I
first
just,
album. These are tough. The first couple Minutemen records did not win me over right away.
yeah, I think
But
it's
I
that
have
whole
them, you know?
that herky jerky style they have where everything is
Yeah. Yeah,
stop,
I know what
stop,
you're saying.
start, stop. I can't do it.
What makes a man start fires, their second record. Yeah, these I sort of backtrack when I literally I think this is the record that started getting me into it. This
Mhm.
is a EP,
Right.
Buzzer Howl Under the Influence of Heat. That sort of got a fair amount of buzz.
Did you ever see them live?
Well, that's the other thing. I didn't see them live. And then, of course, this is their biggest record.
Yeah.
You must
Double
be
nickels all the
somewhat
time.
familiar with this record, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Double nickel,
Anytime I've
double
thought to
nickels on the
myself,
dime,
anytime
double
I thought,
album.
gee, I need to give the Minutemen another chance. That's the
Well,
record.
actually, I'm thinking, yeah, I was thinking maybe this will be a deep dive. We could our next deep dive,
Uh,
you know. And
that,
then,
that-
yeah, then I was on board. After double nickels on the dime, I was on board. Project Mersh, another EP. We got three-way tie for last.
boy,
Solid efforts. These
you
are
are
all solid.
loving the Minutemen albums.
I took them all out just for you. trying to make my case. And then
Gee.
ballot result. This is another good
Most
intro. This is sort of like almost like a greatest hits type thing.
most other music geeks I know love the Minutemen. I've just never been able
Uh-huh.
to. That herky jerkiness, I can't get
I'm
behind.
with you on herky jerkiness, but it's funky. Is the funkiness a problem? They have like a sort of bass heavy sound.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe I don't like that bass
you don't like
slappy
the bass heavy sound?
slap. I don't like that dry slap bass.
Nah. See, I
Never
like
done it
it,
for me.
So I had Minuteman at number 3. I had Dinosaur Jr. at number 4.
Mhm.
So what are
That
we at? We're up to number 5 now.
that album Bug when that came out in the summer of 88, I think.
Hmm.
Me and a buddy played that. I mean, it took us months to get to a second song on that album. That
Hmm.
was like the anthem of that summer. Freak Scene, so big. I just love that guy's guitar playing.
See, I was late to Dinosaur Jr.
Mhm.
I didn't have their early stuff, and actually, this was sort of a point of contention that got me onto the best show.
Oh, really?
Because I got into a little debate with Tom on the best show message board.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I got on, I came on late with, I think it was Green Mind, really.
Hmm.
Bug was right before Green Mind, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so Green Mind was the one that sort of got me.
Yeah.
Um, and then I backtracked and listened to Bug, but I didn't even really backtrack to their real early stuff. I started listening to stuff after Green Mind, but then I got called out by Tom Sharpling about their
Uh-oh.
early stuff, so I went back and yeah, I like them. You know, they have good stuff. Like I said, it's a distinct guitar sound.
Yeah,
Um, you can't understand the vocals at all, pretty much.
no. And
Which
they're
which I like vocals, I like lyrics, so that's a bit of a drag for me, you know.
and you don't have to like the band. Their story is so fun to read because they're such shitheads with each other.
Well, yeah, I'll say that, and we'll get this as we go through it. Yeah, the book is entertaining, whether you know the bands or not. And I
Yeah.
didn't know half the bands,
Yeah.
and it was still interesting. So yeah, I recommend that book to anybody. It's just
Yeah.
an interesting read.
Like these guys sound like total shithead 12-year-olds. It's a miracle they stayed together as long as they did.
Yeah, you
Uh,
know.
then I go like I say Mission of Burma, but I kind of only really like those two big songs, the big ones. Um, Sonic Youth.
Yeah,
Uh,
see, I have Sonic Youth after Dinosaur Jr. Then I have Mission of Burma, another band which I did not know when they were out. And then yeah, through the Best Show, Tom was a big Mission of Burma fan, so I checked them out. Like you, there's a few songs. I can't say I'm a fanatical fan at this point, but
they always have some weird shroud of mystery about them. Like there's
mhm,
something super mysterious
yeah,
about them. Well, it sounds like we all have like Mission of Burma, Dinosaur, Sonic Youth in the same grouping ish.
yeah, towards the top,
Yeah.
you
And then
know.
like Beat Happening. I like a little Beat Happening.
Yeah, see, Beat Happening, I knew nothing about until I read the book. And yeah, an interesting story. They have a sense of
Yeah.
humor, so any band that has sense of humor, I kind of give them a
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
I tried to listen to their music. It's not really for me.
Welcome
Uh,
back to Indian summer. Welcome
yeah,
back to
it's kind of,
Indian summer.
how would you describe it? Like a almost like amateurish sort
Yeah,
of
there's like a
Daniel
tweeness to it.
Johnstone.
It's like a less bouncy, but the same childishness as Jonathan Richman.
Mhm,
But like it's like a Peanuts did Jonathan Richman.
uh-huh.
Childish but depressing. So
Yeah, I didn't go deep with them. So I mean, but I have them. So after Mission of Burma, I have one of your lower ranked bands.
oh
Uh, I have Black Flag and then Fugazi,
yeah.
then Beat Happening. Now
Oh.
this sort of ends like the section of bands that I was somewhat familiar when they were around.
Hmm.
Uh, Black Flag, I kept trying. I mean, the big album
Oh, I thought you'd be right at that age where you'd be right at that
is
group that would
damaged.
fall for Black Flag.
No,
I
my
I, ne- I,
my
ne- I can never get into Black Flag. They were
uh,
always right before me. I'm like I'm not just yeah. I
these albums are in perfect condition, mainly because I did not get on board. I tried to.
yeah
I tried to. They were I guess well reviewed, and I'd get these albums. They certainly have very colorful
yeah
covers. Richard Pettibone, right, is doing the
yeah
artwork there.
yeah.
And so I have all these records, and I think they're kind of worth a lot of money now. Mm, but because I think isn't Greg Ginn sort of sitting on stuff and not paying artists in my
Yeah, that's the
head.
thing. Those guys come out of this book sounding like complete fucking tools.
And so yeah, look at all these Black Flag records I have. I
I
mean,
mean, this is like a
I
clown car.
my lord.
Albums, they don't stop. They just keep coming.
And I tried to get on the Black Flag ship,
Yeah.
but here's the
I,
thing. I've talked about it many times before. Hardcore, that scene, that ship sailed quickly for me.
mhm.
I was vaguely interested in it. I did not go to hardcore shows. I did not want to slam my body into shirtless dudes,
Amen,
sweaty
brother.
shirtless dudes in a pit. That to
Amen.
me sounds like a nightmare.
Glory, glory,
So
hallelujah.
why would I subject myself to that? So yeah, try as I might to listen to. I liked a couple Black Flag. What is Six Pack? They had a couple funny ones, right? Six Pack and TV Party. I'd hear those songs, and I enjoyed those songs. Those songs
Yeah.
they're funny, and
It just sounds like, I mean, I came around right after that, and at every age, just the idea of like, oh, let's go somewhere and watch Henry Rollins just run around in circles, shrieking and screaming
Mhm.
and headbutting everybody. Yeah, that sounds great. No thanks.
I guess we
But
didn't have the high test testosterone
testosterone,
testosterone that
high IQ.
that made us aggressive young males.
Hey, I played high school football. I left it all on the field.
Yeah, I had other outlets. Yeah, I did not need to. I had my
Yeah,
core group of friends. We did our things, but
yeah,
it didn't involve
yeah.
taking
Even
our
I go to
shirts
see the
off. And
Ramones, I wasn't like hurling myself in the mosh pit. I was about the music, bro.
well, seeing the Ramones, I did see the Ramones, and it was fun. It wasn't everybody sort of respected each other's space.
Hmm.
It was the pogo rather than the slam dancing, and so yeah, it's a whole different mindset.
Yeah. So
Uh,
like Fugazi, Black Flag, and Big Black, I don't give a fuck about any of them. Minor Threat, I have a little bit of nostalgia for because they were kids and you always hear that story. Uh,
yeah, Ian, what's his last name? Ian
Ian MacKay.
Mackay. Yeah, no, but the
Uh,
thing about Ian Mackay, he just seems like again too serious, right? The guy's a little too serious? I mean, am I
Fair.
wrong?
I mean, I never got into the whole DC music scene like our buddy Will did. I mean, he lived here. His band was here for a while. Uh, I never got into the DC hardcore scene. Because I just never loved
Uh,
hardcore. So it was never my thing. But to answer your question, yeah, they, all these guys just always seem like pills. They just seem like
mhm,
no
yeah. So
fun.
after Beat Happening, I have two groups literally, yeah, that I did not really investigate at all. Mudhoney and Minor Threat. So yeah, I mean Fugazi, I was late to the Ian Mackay thing there, so I had a couple Fugazi CDs,
Uh-huh.
Repeater and another one, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I never really played them much, so I was not going to go backwards and check out Minor Threat.
Yeah.
And then yeah, at the bottom of my list, I have a couple instances of bands where I was sort of one and done.
Don't tell me you're gonna pull a Big Black album out of your stash.
Well, the first one is, yes, this controversial cover,
Oh, Butthole Surfers.
Butthole Surfers. And, you know, Butthole Surfers, came on with the shock.
Yeah.
That was part of punk bands, repertoire to be shocking.
Yeah.
So I must have read a review about that record or something. I gave it a shot. I don't think I played it more than once. And then, yeah, okay, here you go. Should have took that
Well,
bet.
well, the Butthole Surfers, they're an example.
Big
Their
Black,
chapter,
Racer X.
the Butthole Surfers in the book, their chapter was fascinating. It was a fascinating read. But
Mhm.
yeah, but you couldn't pay me to listen to the music.
And then they had like a huge hit, right? In
Yeah, in the 90s,
Pepper,
Pepper.
Pepper, which is sort of to me. I listened to it today just to refresh my memory.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Beck's lose.
Novelty.
It's like Beck's Loser meets
Yeah.
People Who Died.
Yeah. It's a bit of a novelty thing.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
So they had
Yeah.
their hit, and good for them.
Yeah.
Big Black, yeah, I just remember being very noisy, I guess. Uh, one listen. Haven't listened to it since.
Yeah.
Is it worth any money? Tell
I
me in the
mean,
comment. Tell me
every
in the
couple weeks,
comments. Maybe I can unload it to somebody.
every
Make a
couple weeks, Steve
make a
Albini
few
comes out
bucks.
and just shits on somebody in the music industry. You got to hear him bitch and moan. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. He's been pivotal producer, but yeah, would you like to hang out with him? Would that be a lot of fun? I don't know.
And then they mention in the book, like just as an aside, like when they were introducing him, Steve Albini, who was dating some girl who had been in like the big Playboys, girls of the Big Ten or something like
Oh,
that.
really?
Remember that?
I don't remember that detail.
I remember they casually like, oh, he dated Miss Illinois or something.
I don't
That's
think she's
that's
still on the
it's
scene.
the only likable thing about Steve Albini.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I didn't know my innocently listing this would cause such an uproar, but I mean, this book is one of the handful of books that'll always mean a lot to me
mhm.
in terms of music books, especially because I'm older now. I'm not going out and buying rock bios anymore. So
Uh-huh.
kind of feels silly. But like this, that Gina Arnold book, the Please Kill Me book,
What's the name of the Gina Arnold book? I don't know
uh,
that one.
On the Road to Nirvana, Route 66, something
Oh,
like that.
so it's
Uh,
mostly about Nirvana, or
it's about grunge and
oh,
leading
okay,
up to
all
Nirvana.
right, that sounds
Like
it.
had, had
I
a
didn't
whole
read that one.
and had a whole chapter about the replacements, which at the
Mhm.
time had never happened. So I was like, couldn't believe
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And then the Velvets to the Voidoids, that Clinton Halen book,
Hmm.
and England's Dreaming, the John Savage book. That handful of books, boy, I wore those out back when I was a young buck. I just couldn't
Yeah,
believe that there were books that I
yeah,
could read this stuff on. And of
yeah.
course, now it's everything is at the touch of a button. But
No, I read all of them except the Gina Arnold, and yeah, they're all very entertaining. I'd recommend to anybody. Yeah, whether you
especially, I look now. England's Dreaming, the John Savage book, was the backbone of my famous paper I wrote on the Clash in college. I say famous.
oh, really? Okay.
It's the one where I called Rolling Stone, asked them for articles, and
Hmm.
back when like they made copies and sent it to me, and was like, and what was I saying?
Writing your paper.
Writing my paper, something
You,
about
wr-
writing.
you wrote a paper about the Clash.
Yeah, but why was I talking about?
I don't know.
Ah, fuck.
uh,
Oh,
actually,
oh, oh. But England's Dreaming was like the backbone. And this was like 1992. All that stuff had happened in like 1977, only 15 years before.
mhm.
But I thought it was the Middle Ages. Might as well have been,
Yeah.
things are when you're that age. It might as well have been 100 years before.
Hmm.
And now, of course, 15 years is nothing.
Yeah.
But those are the Mount Rushmore of books. But I'm glad to see my little list through the internet off its act. And my guitar player designed the paperback cover. Dish did the cover for Our Band Could Be Your Life. How about that?
Really, I didn't know that.
Well, you didn't ask. You didn't give a
Okay.
shit. You're wrapped up in Mike Lesk.
I gave my copy of England's Dreaming to Kurt Vile. I
Oh,
hope I hope he
Aggie
enjoyed
Braggy.
it.
All right.
I hope he enjoyed it. Uh, but yeah, okay. So that was yeah. Let's do a deep dive of Minutemen. I don't really listen to. I can't really. I
What
listen
if
to
I
that
hate
music.
them?
What's that?
What if I hate them?
Well, that'll be. You're just being you.
I was gonna come on this week and make a declaration that you won the battle of the Stones versus the Kinks.
Hmm.
But then I was scared. What if, as I do that, I drop dead suddenly before I can reveal that I was joking? And a lot of people would think, "Oh shit, Greg really liked the Stones more than the Kinks." Mike was right. I can't fucking have that. So
No, I mean the Kinks peak is great stuff, but I just feel like their fall was more precipitous, and
your fall is more precipitous.
it- and the 70s they got lost in concept albums,
You're fucking
and they
lost.
never they never recovered. You know, they had a few hits. You know, I give them credit for hanging in there and getting those hits in the '80s.
All right.
You know, they distributed one per album.
All right.
And then just,
Well,
called it a day when rock died in the early '90s, which
all right.
is that's my theory.
Well,
That's when rock officially died. It's
mm,
after that, the only ones who ever hit the Billboard charts are like Creed and Nickelback
God damn.
and I had a discussion. Oh, you'll enjoy this. I played Here Comes a Regular at my local establishment one evening, and it was one of the waitresses was sitting near me, and her and another young lady,
Mm,
they got all excited. They thought it was a Nickelback song.
wow.
I can't think of the Nickelback song it was, but then they played it. But I guess
This is
just
a photograph.
oh, okay. You knew this similarity?
I don't know. Is
Yeah,
that?
I think that's the song.
I mean,
Yeah.
somebody bought these Nickelback albums, right? Like we make fun of them and they're a punchline, but somebody bought them. They're like gazillionaires.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna do that as a joke, but I couldn't stand the thought of dropping dead before I could clarify it. So
Uh-huh. Well, that was the Photograph is the Nickelback song that they thought was they mixed up with the Replacements. So I got a
well,
kick out of that. It's like
I'm sure that's what it would take to finally have Paul Westerberg kill himself.
so anyway.
Can I
Um,
give a shout out
yeah, go ahead.
to one of our friends, Marissa?
Okay.
She's
Baldessaro?
killing it on the tweets.
She's hilarious.
She's had some LOLs over the week.
Yeah.
So just want to say a little shout out to Marissa.
Yeah, and remember when you fought me about having her as a guest?
Yeah, well, that wasn't what that was about, but
It's like you didn't trust me. Yeah, let's just say you didn't trust me. You thought I was making a big mistake,
yeah.
and now you're a huge fan. It took a while, but you got there, so I'm happy.
But you didn't know
She's
that
funny.
at the time. You didn't know that any better than I would have.
No, I never talked to her in my life, but
Right.
I was
My point at the
following her
time
on
was
on
you could have
Twitter.
you could have asked. That's all.
Well, I didn't ask for other guests. I just
Yeah, I
lined
didn't
up the
like that
other
either.
guests. Yeah, well, okay. It's a sore point still, I see. So we'll
Well,
move
I was having a nice moment
we'll
with
move
our
on.
community, and you
I'm
managed to shit on
no,
it.
I'm glad you came around. That
I
yeah,
didn't come around. I I just said
I
her
just
tweet.
remember you can go listen to that show. You're even during the show, you're like just kind of like standing back, like
Oh,
you know,
that's not true.
you didn't bother to eat the dish that week.
I'm sure I was amazing if I was
It was
fucking
a
with it.
little silent protest.
What was the dish?
I
Oh,
think
please.
it was it was the oyster or something or other,
Oh, well, of course I'm not eating that shit.
but it was like a sauce. It was a sauce. There was no oysters in it.
Ugh. All right, well.
Anyway,
Anyway, Marissa, sorry I was trying to be nice and have a shout out. Tweets were funny all week, that's all.
now she's hysterical. I love her stuff. Sometimes she's kind of hard and it's like a little shocking sometimes, but she's doing her
Uh,
thing. She's
do,
doing her thing.
do you say this about my tweets to other people?
No,
Great.
I, I can't keep up with your tweets. It's just too many.
Okay.
So it's
Here
like
we go.
when I see a few, I
Mm.
try and respond and give you a retweet here and there
Uh,
just to show you I'm still on board.
That's the last time I'm nice to somebody else. Cross that off my list.
So this week I went to a nearby Italian deli. I got a caprese salad. Are you familiar with the caprese?
Well,
Caprese?
people call it caprese salad, but
Caprese? Okay. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Let me know. Let Jerry hop in here with the pronunciation.
yeah, at
Um,
2.5 times speed.
so I went to this Italian deli, which is pretty good. I've been there several times before, And what I got was not what I usually get. I mean, I've talked about some of the great pizzerias, delis in Bayonne, and you get some really good caprese salads there. And it's just basically thick slices of mozzarella, some roasted pepper, and a little oil and vinegar, I guess, or balsamic, one or the other.
No tomato? Don't they have tomatoes? No?
Yes, tomato. You're right. Yes, tomato. Um, that's it. This salad was not that.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's the Central Jersey version.
Oh boy.
Even though the photo in the menu looked like what we just described, uh, I got the mozzarella, I got the
What's
roasted pepper,
that?
I got the mozz, I got the roasted peppers, I got black peppers, not black, not black peppers, black olives.
You like the
On
olive.
Oh yeah, I love the olives. So that was a nice addition. It was unorthodox but welcomed. And then all this was on a bed of lettuce. Um, your iceberg lettuce, and a fair amount of it, so
Oh.
that when I ate all the toppings,
Oh.
I still have a big, still have a big container full of lettuce in my refrigerator, which I do not expect to really revisit. But so it was fine for what it was.
Hmm.
Not, I wouldn't say the best that I've ever had of that particular salad. So yeah, I'd give it like 6, 7 in there.
I had maybe the best wonton soup wontons the other day.
Okay,
It's the one I sent you. It was a
I saw
picture.
the photo. Yeah.
I was dog sitting for our buddy Waddy, and super friend of the show, young Waddy, Jackie Watts, shout out. And I got Chinese food the other night, and first of all, I don't think I've given. Yeah, I give the chicken McNuggets a lot of love every week. Is always great, but the chicken that comes from with their chicken, their sweet and sour chicken,
Hmm.
no matter where you get it from, it's always the exact same. It's that weirdly crusted. I don't know how they crust it,
Hmm.
and it's always fantastic.
Hmm.
But the wonton soup wontons, because usually I pull them out, I eat the wontons separately. I don't need the soup.
Well, that's what I saw. The photo was the
Yeah,
wontons next to some fried rice.
right. I'll strain it, get the wontons, dump them in the fried rice, eat it or whatever.
What
And
is
these
wrong with the
things,
soup? Why is the soup so?
I mean, the soup's fine, but I just want to eat the wontons. I mean,
I mean, sometimes the wontons take up so much space. There's barely any soup in there. It's not like it's swimming in soup.
I'll eat the soup. I'll throw some of the crunchy things in there, but mostly I'll just dig out the wontons. Right there,
Yeah.
they're the superstar. And
Okay.
these things, when I say they were like butter, I don't mean like
Uh-huh.
they kind of felt they reminded you of butter. I swear to God, these things tasted like butter. They
Hmm.
were amazing. I think I'm gonna try to get them again in the near future and maybe dig in a little. Uh, Fantastic.
No, they look good, and I was confused by the photo, seeing the wontons next to the fried rice. I suspected, I thought you had thrown your fried rice into the soup, which I could easily picture you doing. Uh, just
Sounds like a thinly
maybe
veiled
maybe
insult.
that's what you have to do to zip up the soup that you can't eat. Fish out the wontons, have the wontons separately the way you like, and then throw fried rice into the soup to make the
I've
soup
done
more
that.
palatable for you.
I've done that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the soup is fine. It's just
Uh-huh.
soup. It's not like I'm gonna fill up or get excited about the soup.
Uh-huh.
But these were easily the best. And again, I got to start paying more attention to the sweet and sour chicken. They come in their own casing that is so good. It's like candy version of deep fried stuff. And
And
every Chinese place, it's always the exact same, and it's always amazing.
and the meat is like the best white
Yeah.
meat. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. That's been my experience as well.
Yeah,
I'm not a big sweet and sour guy, but when I've gotten it, yeah, the
yeah.
chicken is sort of a step up.
For some reason, yeah, for some reason that's the best pieces. So
Hmm.
I may start ordering that just and use it as call that like my McNuggets, because I don't get the sauce. I get the sauce on the side. I don't need that. I don't need that crap.
You probably would drive somebody nuts by asking. Maybe
Yeah.
you could ask for the chicken that you use in the sweet and sour chicken. Can you throw that in with the chicken and broccoli instead of the regular chicken and broccoli chicken?
Well, no. The play is to get what I have done is use the egg foo young gravy
Uh,
on it, which is
so you
I don't
get
know
sweet.
why they need to start selling that stuff separately. Egg foo young gravy.
So you get sweet and sour chicken with egg foo young gravy.
Yeah.
Really? And they do
Yeah.
that for you?
Some places you got to ask for the sauce, and it's a little tricky sometimes. They act like they don't know what you're talking about. But if you can, yeah,
Because I think you can order sweet and sour stuff with the sauce on the side.
that's what I do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because
yeah.
it's a lot, It's like so goopy and yeah,
It's like neon goop.
yeah.
I don't know why they don't sell egg foo young gravy separately, like as a condiment. I would put it on everything.
I thought you saw that at one place you went to.
Egg foo young gravy.
Well, or one menu. I thought you were delighted one week
Well,
when
sometimes on Uber, sometimes it'll be on the menu, like you can
yeah.
order it. But no, like I've never seen it like sitting out like ketchup and mayo or something.
Oh,
Like, why can't it be that?
mm-hmm. Like
I
it's
would put it
always
on. I would put egg foo young gravy on chicken. I would put it on any kind of potatoes, any kind of bread.
mhm,
Name a food. I'll tell you if I would put egg foo young gravy on it.
yeah. I would say one good thing about this.
Did you hear the words I just said? I
Yeah, I
said
just I
food.
yeah I your
Didn't name a food.
your fascination with the gravy has been well documented on this show.
It's the best.
Uh,
But that, yeah, not as I'm locking China into finally realizing to focus all their attention on the chicken McNuggets. I think I'm going to focus on why aren't we selling the gravy like people sell barbecue sauce.
mhm.
So, okay. You're bored. You want to move on. I'm sorry.
No,
I've
I
bored
wanted to
you. I've
say
upset you.
I hit this Italian deli at the right time, at the right time because they had some samples out.
Oh.
I got something, I tried to make my trip worthwhile, so I got a couple extra things that look good. I got something called eggplant papanata, and I'd never had it before. It looked good. Had some olives in there. I saw, and I was like, "Oh, that looks good." So basically, I just got that on looks alone, and sure enough, the guy behind the deli, just comes out and gives me a little sample on a piece of bread. It was excellent.
That's the Jersey way.
So yeah, so I got a nice little taste of that. Then I go up to the register to pay for my stuff, and there's some more samples up there. There's some,
Hmm.
you
All
know,
coming up Mike Lisk today.
some stuffed bread up there, with some ham and um, cheese in it. I was like, that
Hmm.
was good. I'm walking out of the place, and I'm already sort of half full from these samples.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a good experience. I also got some cavatelli with broccoli. Looks good. I actually did have a little bit of that.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was a nice haul. A little expensive. I mean,
Hmm.
you're going for the good stuff at these delis, and
Hmm.
you pay more for it, but you know,
Hey, with that safari money coming in, you're not worried about
the
that.
safari money. Yeah. Hey, but here's the other thing. I'm going to be a Teamster. I got to kick in money to the Teamsters
Oh,
with
that is
this job.
so Jersey.
They got to get their taste of a part-time job, a seasonal job. They got to
Oh,
get their taste. There's trucks involved.
I
They
love
they
it.
mu- they muscled their way in. I don't think they were around when I was first started down there.
I'm back then.
So they muscled their way in. I got to kick them $25 a month. I'm like, what? I
You,
got to
you
work
think
an I got to work an hour for those guys, these crooks.
you think when you left that first time, that's when they slithered in there
I
and got their hooked
don't,
in there?
I don't know that it had anything to do with me.
I
Maybe,
love it.
they when Six Flags came in, they muscled in on Six Flags.
Part-time job in the union.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I did not care for that, but what can you do? It's New Jersey, like you said.
Well, I think I speak for our audience when I ask. I'm gonna ask this every week, respectfully.
Uh-huh.
Do we feel like we're closer to getting back to trying a little Chinese food, or still not yet?
Do you have something in mind? I mean, there's some big things we haven't done. I could start going off on my seafood journey that would be a solo thing. If you want to go on a separate path of eating egg
Our
food, egg
captain.
go on a path of eating egg foo young every week, which is what I
That's
think your goal is to,
that,
live up to the show that we
that
would
is what
just
I
eat
want
egg
to
foo
do.
young every week.
That is what I want to do. Well, you tell me if you want to dip into the Chinese stuff next week, and then if so, I'll either eat what you're eating or I'll do egg foo young, which I want to do anyway.
I
Uh,
think I think I want a little more time
all right. Hey,
because
whenever you want to dip your toes back in, no,
yeah. Now I saw some other salads at this Italian deli that I was eyeing. I'm like, oh,
loving the salads. Woo.
that looks good. You know, yeah, I just need a longer break from the Chinese food. Nothing against the Chinese food. I mean, did it feel like you going home having the is this the first time you had some Chinese in a while?
A little bit.
Uh
It was so good. And I didn't even have egg foo young, and it was so good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, of
Oh,
course.
have you participated yet? It's Girl Scout cookie season. I was at my grocery store over the weekend, and this couple young ladies had a setup right in the front of the place, and I was like, "Yep, I see you. I see you. I'll be back. I'll get you on the way out."
And then you slipped out the back door.
No, no, no. I got there, and actually they were breaking it down. I was like, "What?" I thought what time is it? You going home early? Where's your
Yeah.
work ethic? It's only like 3 in the afternoon, But
Spiny.
yeah, I bought. Here's the thing. I bought some thin mints, and they already packed them away. They were in a SUV in front of the store. They had to bring them back. Last two boxes. I got the last two boxes.
Oh, you didn't have to wait for a couple of weeks?
No, they were right there. They
Oh, that's
some
new.
people some people take their cookies to the streets. They just
Oh, I see.
they get some stuff. They get permission to,
The Jersey
set up
Scouts.
yeah, set up some tables in front of the supermarket. They're doing their thing for the community,
Yeah,
letting them
knockoff cookies.
let them hang out there. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, come
What
on,
kind
Girl
of
Scout.
union? What kind of Teamsters handling the Girl Scout
I
cookies?
don't know. It was just one of the mothers of the girls
That's even
packing up
scary.
packing up the cookies in the back of her SUV. But so she retrieved the last two Thin Mints for me. $6 a box, though. Come on, come on. What is that? I mean, six
That's bull.
dollars.
That's bullshit.
$6. Is
The,
that?
the the less they have to work for it, the more they cost.
I mean, is
Back
that
when they used
the?
to have to hustle and knock around, knocking on the door, $2.
Uh,
Now it's just go the fuck online and figure it out, and it's $6.
yeah. But so yeah, they broke it. I was like, I'm in now. I can't balk at the prices.
Oh, nobody's gotten to me yet.
I could have just went back into the store and got the Keebler version, and I guess that's like 350 or something.
You're a role model for these girls, Michael.
Let me
They
get
can
ripped off. It's a good cause, just like I'm sure the Teamsters will be a good cause when they're
yeah,
taking their taste of my
in their taste.
my work.
I wonder, yeah, I
Uh,
wonder how much of a taste they're getting from the Girl Scouts.
But the one thing I did notice, the Thin Mints, they have instead of the clear plastic sheath,
Uh-huh.
they have like an aluminum.
I call it a sleeve.
Well, there's two sleeves per box, right? And here's my question to you. I'll bring you into the conversation now.
Well,
Have
thank
you
you. Somebody else is talking to.
have you ever opened a sleeve of Thin Mints and not crushed the entire sleeve?
Ooh, I'd love to say yes. Boy, that is tough.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Once you get going, I mean,
Thin Mints, yeah,
they're thin, they're small,
they're
you
like little
know.
wafers. Yeah, you
You're
can't.
halfway through, and it's like, oh, what the? I'm just
Yeah,
gonna,
they're
I'm
not
gonna go
tag-along.
for it. What are
They
you
don't
gonna
have the
do?
girth of the tag-alongs. They're only my third favorite.
Third favorite,
Or no, tag-along. Maybe my second favorite.
Samoas.
I don't. They're
Oh, you
not
don't
even.
like coconut, right?
No.
For whatever reason that is.
Well, maybe because I have tastes. I mean, because
Oh,
I
is it?
like and don't
It's
like
an
what I don't like.
allergy. Another allergy food.
No, I just don't like it.
Coconut. Coconut.
No, no, unlike shrimp. And please don't call me out on my bullshit, Mike. I've been working on it for far too long to have you call me out on it.
Well,
I
it's
guess Thin Man is my second favorite, but easily behind tagalongs.
tagalongs. Now, what's the tagalong again?
Peanut
Peanut
butter and
butter.
chocolate.
Okay, yeah. They had
Like the
those.
Cadillac of Girl Scout cookies.
I liked them early on, but yeah, as I got older, it's like, yeah, it's
Oh,
too
you've
much.
outgrown the tagalongs?
I've outgrown the tagalongs. Yeah,
Immature.
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Oh, but
I
I'm a
outgrew.
dummy because I don't like the Samoas.
One day you'll be here with me and saying, Mike, you're right about those tagalongs. They're too much now. It's like I just want a thin wafer cookie, nice little refreshing
Yeah.
minty taste.
Once I've grown up and matured past the tagalong.
Yeah.
Now I like to get the tagalong and scoop out the peanut butter with my front teeth and little scoopity scoop.
Yeah. I was
Oh.
up in arms. I saw this article. Again,
I know I got you when you go. Yeah.
time to move on.
Oh,
We gotta keep it moving. Keep it
geez.
moving. I saw some, I guess it's a viral video. We missed the boat again.
Oh,
I
must be
think,
nice that must be nice to have one of those.
and I felt like I was ripped off with this latest one. There's some sort of viral debate over how to eat a sandwich. Did you see that one?
Oh, let me guess. In the middle, on the
Well,
end.
there's a photo here. I'll give you the setup. There's a photo of a half-eaten sandwich, right?
What kind of sandwich?
It doesn't matter what it looked like. It was a roast beef sandwich or something
I mean, is it like
on rye
square
bread.
bread?
Just like your typical sandwich, not
Okay.
a sub.
Okay. Typical square white bread.
It looked like rye bread, I think.
Okay.
So it's in the
White bread?
middle of the sandwich. So they've got three different sections of this half-eaten sandwich. So A is towards the left, the crust. It's uh, so that would be your first choice. What it says is where's your next bite,
Uh-huh.
right? That's the setup.
Uh-huh.
Where's your next bite? Is it a bite out of the one crust? B, the middle of the sandwich, which is containing most of the ingredients in the sandwich, right? Or C, nibble of a corner of the sandwich, which literally doesn't look like it has any of the contents of the sandwich in it.
Well, if it's a triangle, like you got your sandwich, you cut it in half like a triangle. So
It
you're
wasn't a
saying?
triangle. It was a square,
Oh,
half-eaten sandwich.
I go, I go towards a corner. I start at a corner.
Really,
Yeah, I don't go in the middle.
really.
Then you
So,
get
so your
stuff on the
thinking is
side of
like
your
save it, save it. You're going to save the big finish.
number one, save the big nugget, save the finish. Plus, number two, if you go in the middle, you got mayonnaise on the side, eat both sides of your mouth. It'll start piling up there. You go on the side, the corner, you have more coverage with your mouth. Stuff doesn't get out and about.
Well, that was the majority. So C, you're saying C.
Or whichever. Yeah, I don't know the number, but yeah. 11.
Which seemed to be the majority opinion. To me, I would have just went. I go for like where the stuff is. I don't like put off the good bites towards the end. And it seemed like all the people who responded to this thing is
Just
like,
dive into the middle of the sandwich like that.
well, the heart of this. I call it the heart of the sandwich,
I mean, you
which
have
is
to eat the corners eventually.
yeah, you will. But
Yeah.
what you feel like if you eat them last, you're gonna be just so disappointed that like
Well,
you can't take that sort of unsatisfactory bite
just gives you something
last.
more to look forward to.
Yeah.
If your favorite part is the middle of the sandwich, you probably want to save that for the end. But when you bite on the corners, I feel like it gives your mouth a more natural, journey throughout the rest of the sandwich.
Okay.
You know what I
All
mean?
right. Well, like I said, I was
Like if you
surprised that
picture tunneling. How should you listen to me?
I was surprised at the findings, but you're in the majority. I'm somebody described my take on it like that I would continue to eat where most of the food is as being psychopathic, and I'm like, wait a second,
What do
aren't we
you?
eating the sandwich? Don't we want to eat the sandwich, the best parts as we go along?
Well, what do you do if it's cut in half and you're holding it and it is a triangle? Well, how do you dig in on that?
Well, I've never been a fan of the triangular cut. First
Right.
off,
Okay. Well,
I like I like the even Steven cut.
okay. Even Steven cut. Where do you dive in?
Um, maybe one side. Yeah, maybe I'll the first bite will be one side,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
but then I'm just not gonna nibble around the interior, the entire exterior.
You don't have to nibble
Leave
around
the
the whole
middle
thing.
of
I'm
the
saying
sandwich.
that's where you start,
Hmm.
and then that's an easier pathway throughout the rest of the sandwich.
Yeah.
But you
Well,
have to kind of
this
start that.
sandwich in the photo that they showed was not cut. It was just like the whole sandwich, and it was like halfway eaten. Um, but yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'm the psychopath in this instance
Yeah.
because
You're wrong.
I focus on the contents of the sandwich rather than the perimeter,
Oh, don't try to make it seem like you're more
rather
noble.
the
That's why.
perimeter
Oh,
to
sorry.
leave the last best bite for last.
Sorry, I care about the ingredients of the sandwich.
All right. Well, here's another fascinating survey that came out. I saw an article. Do you live in a pancake or a waffle state?
I guess being Virginia probably thinks of itself as Southern, which is waffles.
Do you have waffle houses near you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see
Well,
that does
they're in Richmond. I don't know how close they are to here, but yeah.
see we don't even have them in Jersey. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe there is. Leave a comment. I mean, I know there is staple in the South, the waffle houses.
Okay.
I've never been to a waffle house. I'd like to check
Really?
one out. Yeah, I'd like to check one out. Are they as good as they say? Or
No.
no, they're
You'll be
overrated.
you'll be very disappointed.
Not as good as a Denny's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, they can be pretty disgusting. They can be exciting. I mean, I love going because I'm a pig, but
Mm,
yeah, they're not, they can be a little grum.
okay.
But they are what they are. They are iconic, and they have that thing where it's like, it's a real hurricane coming if Waffle House shuts down or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Something. Okay, well, I'll shut up.
No, I believe New Jersey's probably a pancake state. I mean, I lived a couple blocks away in Bayonne from a diner that claimed to have the world's greatest pancakes.
To me, though, you can't compare waffles and pancakes. I don't know if it's because when I was a kid, waffles just seemed so much more exotic.
Uh-huh.
Uh, to me, there's no comparison to
So
pancakes.
you prefer waffles?
I prefer waffles. Whenever I do have waffles, for some reason, it seems like an event. It seems like, oh, this is a treat.
Yeah,
I love frozen waffles out of the toaster.
yeah.
I like waffles with the whole whipped cream and
Strawberries.
strawberries and sauce and whatever.
Right.
But mainly I like the crunchy, crispy, frozen ones with butter. But
Mhm.
yeah, pancakes to me are just pancakes, whereas waffles always seem like a treat. It's like curly fries, as opposed to regular fries, right? There's
Yeah,
something.
no, I hear you. But I mean, waffles can vary too, right? You can have the
Yeah,
crunchy ones, right,
yeah,
versus the softer ones, right, that
yep,
are more the high class waffle.
yeah.
Um,
I prefer the crunchy, crispy butter hot one.
yeah,
Uh,
no, I went on a streak with the toaster once when I was a kid.
oh,
I
braggy, braggy.
I liked them. I liked them.
Yeah,
Maybe I should pick them up again. Yeah, treat myself, like you said. It
treat
would be a
yourself.
treat. Be a
Oh,
treat.
oh, free waffles.
Get some Eggos, throw
Yeah.
them in the toaster. I got the new toaster. Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Oh, you got
But
a new
it's
toaster?
like I've never gone into like a Denny's or something and ordered pancakes and was excited about it.
Well, I used to go to this diner every once in a while, and yeah, it's been a long time since I had pancakes too. And
To me, pancakes at a diner are just wasted real estate.
yeah,
Like you can make pancakes fine at home. You're at a diner, you're excited. Don't waste space for pancakes.
and usually if you do indulge, by the end of the meal, you're like, sorry. You're you're just like, why did I do that? Because there's so much, and it just lays on you, and
Yeah.
then you're uncomfortable for the next couple hours.
At least
Uh,
waffles, it feels exciting, like you're doing something fun.
yeah.
So
Well, they don't list
is it
all
purely
the.
northern and southern how they break it up, or how do
No,
they?
I'll give you the top five. They only list the top five states for pancakes and waffles. So the top five for pancakes are Hawaii, Utah, Oregon, Alaska, and New Hampshire.
So is the criteria for the pancake states incredibly white,
I don't
other than
know. The
Hawaii, I guess?
Hawaii, they mentioned that I guess they're famous for macadamia nuts in their pancakes,
Hmm,
which does sound good. It's like,
that's
oh,
not good.
yeah. So I guess I wasn't aware of that particular state uh, tradition there.
Yeah, the
Um,
others are just super white. They love
yeah, but here's the thing: the waffles,
okay, well,
the waffle states are not. I thought they were going to be all southern states, right?
all right, let's hear it.
Well, they're not. Number one, Minnesota.
Wow.
Here's the dumb thing about this article: Utah is on the waffles
Oh,
top.
fuck that, Utah. Double dipping.
Double
Greedy,
dip, and not
Utah,
they're not the
greedy,
only one. New Hampshire is also double dipping. So
greedy.
so there's two states that can't make up their minds between waffles and pancakes, Utah and New Hampshire.
So what's the point of this list if two of them are
Yeah.
on both?
Yeah, it's dopey. And then Vermont and Maine. So which, you can't get any further north than that. It's like okay, not one southern state for the waffles. So
I guess anywhere up there because that's where syrup comes from. But yeah,
yeah,
what's the
okay, that's a
point of
good
an
point.
either? What's the point of an either or list if half of the places are on both places?
You're right.
It's like a Mike List poll. Terrible. No offense.
Uh-huh. Um
Speaking
we've
speaking of no offense, I keep seeing this thing whipping around on Twitter. Oh, a New York Yankees all-time best of team, Boston Red Sox all-time. If we were putting a real to real all-time best team, are we putting Mike Lisk in? Are we putting Mike Lisk on the pitcher's mound over Mark Holling? What was that look like?
well, I think I was out before Mark began his reign, right? I mean, he came in after me.
Came in after you. You set
Yeah,
the standard. You were
yeah.
the Cy Young of
So he was my
successor.
successor.
If
Yes.
if one may succeed, Mike Lisk. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a
Did you
lot.
ever get one pitch away from going to the finals?
Oh, here we go. Oh, I like the spirit. I like the fight. I was going to pencil him in.
Did he make it to
Now
the
that I hear
finals?
you fighting for your corner, I am
Did,
inspired.
did he make it to the finals?
Twice.
Oh, he did? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, then, yeah, then I'll give it to him.
I'm
I never
joking.
made it to the finals.
I don't
I,
know.
I came one pitch away from making it to the finals.
Sang pitched one finals.
Uh-huh.
I think Mark pitched the other one.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm gonna leave it blank for right now. I gotta do some soul searching. It's the last spot I haven't filled in. You a favorite player, so
Uh-huh.
I'll maybe go light a candle at the cathedral or something tonight. So, but you did make a case. So
Uh-huh.
I like that ornery you flared up.
Uh-huh. I wanted to talk about I lost it. I thought I saw another or maybe we talked about it already. Um Chick-fil-A has a pizza.
What?
It's actually near you. Um
Chick-fil-A? You don't mean KFC, do you?
no, Chick-fil-A.
What?
They're all doing this. I guess they're all trying to have everything at they're just throwing everything up against the wall.
I know KFC has some weird pizza thing they call
Do
it.
you know where College Park, Maryland is?
Yeah.
There's a place called Little Blue Menu, and I guess it's where Chick-fil-A sort of experiments with their menu.
Hmm.
So they're doing a chicken nugget pizza. Would you eat that?
Yes.
Okay.
A heartbeat. What do you mean?
Oh, wait a second. It's not just chicken nuggets. It's
Oh,
it's chicken nugget pickles, which is an odd topping for pizza for me, and the Chick-fil-A sauce.
let me tell you something. You know who would eat that up in a heartbeat? Your number one fan, my nephew. He loves pickles
Really? Okay.
and he loves Chick-fil-A. I mean, every kid that generation does.
Shout out to Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick. Thank you. I'm gonna hear it from the kid all fucking day.
Okay.
And he loves Chick-fil-A sauce.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So he would eat this up in a heartbeat. So is it like pizza, like dough and sauce and cheese, and then the nuggets on top of it?
I guess it's essentially like a typical pizza, but then throw in those ingredients. They have a buffalo ranch uh, pizza. They have a regular cheese and then pepperoni,
Huh.
uh, and then they have a mixed vegetable thing. So
Oh,
yeah, they're trying to get into the pizza game.
wow, I did
I
not know that. I would
you know,
definitely try it. My nephew would definitely tear that up.
now
Uh,
that's their sauce is on the chicken sandwich, right?
I don't love, I mean, it comes in packets. They sell that stuff. They sell it in stores now. It's so popular. I don't love it. It tastes like hot dogs to me.
Really?
Sauce. I don't love
Uh-huh.
it, but a lot of people do. My nephew does, so he would love this pizza. But
Okay.
even I can't pull the trigger on trying the KFC.
Yeah.
The cheats, it just looks
Yeah. It doesn't
can't
look
even make it
right.
look good in their ads. So
No, right. You're right. In the commercial, it just looks like, oh, it's like a
yeah,
lumpy thing, and it's like it just looks like a mess.
even with the
Just
bullshitting commercials, they can't make it
just
look
to
that
eat the
good.
thing, you're gonna get,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a messy experience.
but yeah, I'll be driving out with Patrick to College Park to try the pizza.
Well, speaking of pizza, we keep seeing these things, where people are trying to make beer taste like food, and it's like, why, so of course somebody Voodoo Ranger IPA, they've got a pizza ale.
Oh,
Supposedly it has
is
notes
it?
of crispy crust, tangy tomato sauce
Oh,
with a finishing pepperoni kick. Why, it's like one of the classic combos is pizza and beer.
yeah, just
So
have.
why do we have to mash it up? Why do we have to, are we animals? We can't. We have. It's like the I guess it's the same concept as the what was KFC's the big bowls or
The depression bowls.
the depression bowls,
But yeah, to your point, they go together perfectly anyway. So
right?
why?
Why do they have to be in the beer? Yeah.
But then well, I guess, well, I was gonna say, I guess you say that about peanut butter and chocolate,
Uh-huh.
but that's not a fair analogy because it's not like people usually sit around with a bowl of chocolate and a bowl of peanut butter, uh, like you do with pizza and beer. So yeah, that seems incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
They'll probably make $1 billion off it, but
I might have considered doing it just for the show to talk about it, but then
oh, all right.
I saw the sticker price,
Oh boy.
$49.99 for a 4-pack.
Speaking of sticker shock and KFC,
7% alcohol, so I guess it does give you
how much is it?
the alcohol.
Yeah.
Seven
Oh,
percent.
no, the cost.
$49.99 for a 4-pack. So
40.
over $10 per bottle.
Speaking of KFC, I got chicken shock, ticket shock the other day. I think I was flirting with thinking about trying that chicken pizza thing.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, and and I was like, oh, I'll get a couple of legs too thrown in there.
Mhm.
How much do you think one chicken leg is? Yes.
Didn't we do this? $5?
Fuck. Yes.
We did this before.
Always do this to me.
Uh-huh.
$4.79
Okay, yeah.
for one chicken leg.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah.
That is,
The
am I
ripoff.
crazy?
It's a mind blower.
I mean, they're fantastic. But that is incredible. I don't want to be one of these old men screaming about the old days when things cost a nickel. But $4.79 for one chicken leg. No thanks.
Maybe you have to go to McDonald's. Apparently, somebody discovered there's a secret menu item at McDonald's.
All
Ever
right.
hear this one? The dinner box.
All right.
You get 2 Big Macs, 2 cheeseburgers.
Oh, I've seen that. That's not secret.
That's not secret.
No, that just I
4
just
small
saw that.
fries,
I just saw that the other day. It's some
10
sort of
piece nuggets.
just some sort of combo meal thing.
Yeah, you don't get any
Not a secret.
sodas. You don't get any soda with it.
Uh-oh.
But it seems like a lot of food. That food. I mean, I'm not going back there after my last experience. Even though
I thought it ended nicely.
no, it did end nicely, but when I had that burger, I was like, why did I even bother going back? so, so it's an anticlimax. Yes. Kudos to Kyle for coming through. Kudos to Kyle for coming through, reimbursing
Kyle,
me for that Big Mac that didn't make it into the bag one night.
Kyle, you are not
Couple months
forgotten,
later,
brother.
I'm back there, trying to redeem it. And he was good to his word. And I did get that Big Mac, and it was like biting the ocean. It was just so salty. I'm like, what did I go? Why did I go back?
Hey,
So
that's not Kyle's fault.
that's not Kyle's fault. No, it isn't. Kyle was on top of it.
Kyle stood up when greatness was calling. He answered the call. So are you
We,
watching Manhunt?
yeah, I'm up to date. There are 3 episodes in. I can't recommend it. It's kind of like why would you take a true story? And the book is fascinating. I enjoyed the book.
Well, great
And
book.
so the details were still fresh in my mind as I'm watching this. And they're just taking poetic license with everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? The story wasn't interesting enough. What they should have done, if they were going to be honest about it, just say, I mean, it says based on the book, but they should have, how like you see like movies or television shows based on true events, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They should have just had instead based on non-true events. because
Burn.
there's all this stuff they throw
Based
into
on
it.
fake news. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
Well, I'm just saying it's like, why did you have to mess with the facts? And
I
there's
know.
actually screenrant.com is doing an episode per episode fact check of it. And there's 10 or 15 things they get wrong in every episode. The one thing, I guess the most glaring, and I guess it's just because they want to conform, make this story conform to television.
Right.
So they have to have a lead. So Edwin Stanton is literally doing all the legwork for the investigation. He's traveling to Montreal, He's in the jail cells, it's
Yeah,
torturing some of the suspects, and it's like, really, you couldn't just stick to the facts and give us like an interesting,
yeah.
you know, based on this book.
It
Um,
does drive me nuts when true stories. The most egregious is when movies are based on sporting events, and for
right,
some reason they monkey around with like the game stuff, and I'm like, know what happened in the game. We have footage of this game. This is what happened.
right,
Why change the score or whatever?
right.
So you're right. It's like obviously they thought this was a great story, so they wanted to make a movie about it. But then in the end, they don't have the guts to just stick with it. They need to Hollywoodize it. They need to make it more
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
how do you even get that attitude? It's like,
Yeah.
and I guess the thinking is, well, nobody's alive to check us on this. Only all the Civil War
Well,
buffs who know this stuff backwards and forwards.
my thing,
So,
I've probably had 4 or 5 friends who say they started watching it, and each one of them has stopped. They just said it sucked. They said the
uh-huh,
exact same stuff you did.
uh-huh.
Uh, Two, I'm still pissed that they didn't make it a comedy, like I was trying to say for 10 years.
But listen to this. The potential was there. Guess who's in it?
Patton
Pat
Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt and Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is in it too.
I saw that. I saw a picture of Patton Oswalt, and I'm like, okay, that's another thing. I'm sorry. I love Patton Oswalt. You know this.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I can't take a movie like this seriously if all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden Patton Oswalt shows up in a Union soldier. I can't.
And with the
Come on.
long beard,
Yeah.
he gets to do the long beard thing. And
Come
here's the
on.
thing,
Come on.
there's a couple things that he did, and I'm sure it's not his thing, but these words pop up just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't using the word intel
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. I saw somebody say that about creep. He said the word creepy or something. Say,
Oh, well, he said intel, and then he used air quotes at one point. I'm like, really? Were air quotes in fashion? The air quotes have been around for all
oh.
these years. So yeah, the air quotes and the intel were two instances that stood out for me. Here's the other thing. Lincoln is in it. I think I was complaining that
We were upset last week about it. Yeah.
yeah, Lincoln is in it, and but here's the thing: the first scene with Lincoln in it, and here's a thing where they made sort of a concession to sort of a thing about Lincoln that he supposedly had like a high voice, right?
Uh,
A high pitched voice.
yeah.
So the first scene with Lincoln, this guy is like, "Oh, so," yeah, and
Uh,
it sounds like a voice, and you're
yeah.
like, let's just skip the voice if it's going to
Uh,
sound like that. And then it fluctuates. Like some scenes he's got a normal voice, and other scenes did Daniel Day-Lewis do it? I'm trying to remember.
he had a funny voice too.
Yeah, he did a funny voice through that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, is it that important with the
No,
with to get the high pitched voice of
I know.
Lincoln?
Like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like my Lincoln tapes.
Yeah, yeah. Who's got the Lincoln tapes that we can even verify this stuff?
Well, it sounds like they're botching it because everything I've heard, and again, I refuse, I'm boycotting it. I told
Yeah.
I told them for 10 years this should be a comedy, and they told me to go fuck myself, and now they're
Well,
paying the price. And let me tell you something, Mike Lisk. If they botch this upcoming movie on my man, James Garfield, if they botch that with my favorite presidential assassin, Charles Guiteau, they botch that, I'm going to make a few hollow threats on this podcast, bitching and screaming and moaning.
is
I'll
that
tell
based on what? Who's doing that?
well, Michael Shannon is going to be Garfield.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he's been my favorite this whole time.
Uh,
Suddenly they're making a movie. I was excited about Manhunt, but now they're botching that. So I'm excited about the Garfield. We'll see if they don't botch that.
what channel is doing that?
What channel?
Yeah. What
Was this the
platform? What am
70s?
I? Do I have to say platform?
Yes.
No. Yeah. I'm not a platform guy. It's just tell me the channel.
Ask me what platform it's on.
What
Uh,
plat? What platform? What app?
There you
What
go.
app is it on?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know
you
to be
don't know.
honest.
Okay.
Uh, I think they just now starting to film and everything. So,
Oh, okay. So it's a
but
ways off.
it's a ways off. But if they botch that,
You
uh,
should check out Manhunt just because I'd like to hear your rant on it because it's just
it sounds like I'm gonna hate it.
the choices they're making. It's just like really, they're bringing in characters that aren't even mentioned in the book. One of the main characters is an emancipated slave who was worked at Dr. Mudd's
No.
uh, farm or whatever, and she wasn't even there when Booth stops. So they add a dramatic scene, and it's
Yeah,
just for pure drama,
I
where
don't
instead of
understand.
having Dr. Mudd's wife was taking care of Booth, his injuries and
that.
shaving and so on, they have an emancipated slave going to shave him just to give you that drama.
Yeah,
Well, is she going to cut his throat? Does she know?
yeah.
It's just like, really? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
it's another case of obviously you thought this story was compelling enough to do a movie, but they always chicken out.
mhm.
I'm surprised. I mean, this is one of the few ones where I guess they can't shove a love story in it. I'm sure they tried. Although then again, it's not over yet. I'm sure they'll
It's not
try to
over yet. Yeah, all right. It's a good.
squeeze
It's
some love life interest in there.
well, you know what? They are going into. You're getting there's a scene. Um, they're trying to give you a little bit of that. Since Stanton is the hero, they're giving you stuff about his relationship with his wife,
Oh,
which is like it's like
ah,
do you remember that from the book? Because I don't remember those scenes.
no,
No, yeah.
no,
So
because
so
nobody gives a
yeah,
shit.
so that's the one relationship thing they throw in there. They show Mary.
Just like Oppenheimer. Here, the guy is responsible for building the most dangerous, most powerful tool in the world. But every 20 minutes, we have to go. Is his wife being snarky? What's his wife thinking?
Uh-huh.
They can't help themselves.
No, they really. I think it's just like there must be some sort of magical formula that they
Okay.
think they have to hit certain things in a show, and if they don't, it's like this isn't a TV. This isn't prestige TV.
Yeah.
We
We
don't
can't
have
go. We can't go 2 hours without watching some sort of love story. Can't
right,
do it.
right, and then
But
they even have.
I've been bitching. I've been writing about Charles Guiteau on Xmas Time for 15 years.
Uh,
You know this. My Super Xmas fans know this. So if they fuck this up, I'm gonna be furious
why is he your favorite assassin again?
because he's hysterical. He's funny.
He's funny.
He's a
Okay,
lunatic.
okay, well,
He
okay.
defended himself. People started showing up in the courtroom just to watch him because he was such an entertaining lunatic.
Mhm. Now,
He
is
was
this
the one
based?
that he was. He's so weird. He was kicked out of a sex society in
Mhm.
upstate New York. They were like, "Dude, you're too weird for us."
Okay, see, I don't know a lot about this particular.
Well, you don't want to crack open a book and learn.
Well,
That's
what's the
your
book? I
generation.
was just about to ask you. What is this based on a book?
Yeah, it's based on the uh, Mallard book, Candace Mallard book. It's about the his assassination, Dr. Lister, who created Listerine, and Alexander Graham Bell, and the concurrence of those events and inventions and how they
Really?
came
Okay,
together at the same time. But
sounds
the
interesting.
main part is about the Garfield assassination.
All right. Well, I'm going to check that out. I'm not familiar with that book. I don't
Yeah.
know a whole lot about the Garfield
Well, I posted
assassination.
about it on Xmas Time over the years.
Yeah,
Oh,
I must have
oh,
been lax in
yeah.
maybe you could start reposting them, and I could
Oh,
check them
did
out.
like that?
Check out the reposts.
Well, last week somebody told me
Uh-huh.
that it's a waste of my time and I should stop, and they hate me. So
Yeah, the other some things they added to for dramatic effect, I guess, like it's not dramatic enough, the story.
right,
They show Mary Todd Lincoln getting on the train for the Whistle Stop tour with Lincoln's body, and I guess it's well documented that she didn't go on that trip, and she was
well,
not in good shape mentally to do that.
They got her hurling herself on the box throughout the TV.
Yeah, there's a little moment as she's getting on the last car of the train, you know. And also it turns out another sort of falsehood. It's like one after the other. Check out the screenrant.com fact check. I
This is
mean,
only 3 episodes in.
there are only 3 episodes in, and there's pages and pages of all the fact checks.
I haven't heard. I'll be honest. I haven't heard anybody say anything nice about this series.
Mhm.
So
Well,
disappointing.
you know what? I mean, they have good directors involved. They have Carl Franklin and John Dahl, who've been involved with really good stuff in the past. You know, they're sort of they're not like hacks or anything. I'm not familiar with a lot of the actors. The guy who's playing Stanton, I guess, was in The Crown, I believe.
Mhm.
Was that one of your shows?
Was that
Yeah.
one of my shows?
Well, it's British,
Are
so
you? Are
so
you?
it's got to be a Greg show. It's
Are you
about
fucking with me? Do
the
I love?
royalty, you know, and
Yes, I love The Crown.
so you maybe you know that actor Menzies, or I can't pronounce his name. He plays Stanton. He's good, you know. And also the music.
Oh, Mendes, or
Yeah.
he was Prince Philip. He was fantastic in The Crown.
Okay. Yeah. No, he seems like a good actor.
Toby Mendy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy.
he's fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah. No, he's playing Stanton, and
yeah.
so he's like the main investigator. They're turning it into a crime, a crime drama, and he's the main investigator doing all the legwork. But
Uh,
yeah, in uh Manhunt the show, they have Stanton's son come up with the idea for the whistle stop, and that's apparently not true either. So it's
uh,
like one thing after another, just
Surprised they
to,
don't. Surprised they don't base it off of all the true crime things now. And so it's Mary gets killed, and gee, surprise! In the end, it's the husband. Abe killed her.
well,
Surprised
well
they
the
haven't
way
got.
well yeah the way this series is going, it's like, yeah, I have no idea what's coming next. I mean, they've obviously not using the book as the main source. They're bringing in all this extra
All of a sudden,
stuff.
you see Abe's bony hand coming up out of the ground. Well, I wonder how much they'll incorporate his follow-up book. Half of it was about Jefferson Davis, which was fascinating. I told you about that, and the other half was all about his funeral train, which was not fascinating. But I wonder if they'll incorporate that into this, like they'll follow his funeral train around for a couple episodes or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they're really going to go that far with that, but it's
I
like I
don't care
said, I
because
mean, they got
I'm
four more
boycotting it.
episodes to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. How
Uh,
many?
I think it's 7 altogether.
It's only 7, and they're already halfway through. Wow.
Well, three have released so far. Yeah.
I boycott it because they didn't take my advice to make it a comedy, so I don't give it.
Just try and watch one episode and see what you think. I mean,
Don't
maybe
handle
you'll
me, Mike.
no, but I wanted to say one other thing. They're giving you a lot of there's hardly any Andrew Johnson in the book, and they're
Yeah,
giving you all these scenes with Andrew Johnson, you
yeah.
know, and it's like, okay, you know, I don't know. I don't believe these scenes any more than I believe the other scenes that are connected to the book. So how much of that stuff, but they're making Andrew Johnson a big character. And
That's
it's like,
new.
it's just their choices are just why couldn't you stick with the book? The book was a bestseller. It's
Drives
not
me
like
crazy.
some obscure book that
Yeah.
nobody's familiar with.
Again, yeah, there's a reason you chose to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
What's the TNA sitch? Pretty good. What's the?
TNA sitch. Zero. Zero TNA. So
Now you're really not selling
you
it.
don't even have that. You don't have that to look for.
I'm
Well,
really not.
that's a good point though, right? I mean, Game of Thrones, I mean, the TNA quotient in Game of Thrones pretty much
Just
put
saying.
sealed its
Just,
popularity, right?
just saying.
Uh, yeah, zero TNA. Only like we said, we're not even halfway through, so
Good to know.
I'll keep you updated
Keep me
on the
posted. But
TNA.
so far, I haven't heard
The
anybody
TNA.
say anything remotely that makes me want to watch it.
Uh,
So, and that's
but
somebody who loved the book. So,
yeah, if you read the book, you're
uh,
watching it, give us some comments. Are we out of line here? You know where to
I
do
don't
it.
lie.
Yeah, out of line.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, would you tip a robot?
No,
No.
why would I
Uh,
tip a robot?
I saw an article about robots, and the robot wants a tip. You know, it's not enough that like they've got rid of all their wait staff that
They still
replace
want their wait
they
money.
replaced them with a robot, and I guess for the novelty of that, they want more money from you.
Where's the money go to?
It goes to the establishment, I guess.
No.
This is in
I'm
Hudson.
an over tipper. I'm happy to tip. I'm happy
Yeah,
to over tip. Fuck that. I'm not tipping a robot. Once robots have taken over everything, I'm not helping. I'm not giving them more money.
yeah. This is a kiosk in Jarvis Hudson Yards. Do you know where that is? And
Yeah, it's
you know,
right down the road, left at the Denny's. That's an Ira.
they have a robot barista. Barista, is that how you say it?
Yeah, but why would you tip it?
Yeah, it makes no sense at all.
Makes no sense.
But it's an option.
If you you know, I mean, that's one of those things. If you tip a robot, I don't feel sorry for you. Fuck you. I got nothing for you. You want to tip a robot, tip a robot. You're a
Yeah.
sucker. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
How do you feel about pennies?
I love them.
This I had this experience in one day. I went to do two different places, and they, if you don't want to give the customers the pennies back, don't make the prices so there's pennies involved. You know,
That's fair.
I mean, when I was working at my uncle's bar, I mean, everything was quarters. You know,
Yeah.
we didn't have to have anything besides quarters. But so I went to one place, and the guy just assumed I didn't want the penny. You know,
Oh,
and
he didn't know who he was talking to.
it's like, just give me the full change back. You know, I'll
You'll
decide.
decide if you want that penny.
Yeah, I'll decide if I want to go out in the parking lot and throw my pennies to the wind. You know, let
Penny
me
to
let
the
me
wind,
decide. You know,
wind.
just
I
give me
thought it
that
was a free
decision.
country.
What's that?
I thought it was a free country.
I thought it was, but I know people hate pennies. I don't like pennies, but
No, I still to this day, if I do see a penny on the ground, I do the old find a penny, pick it up all day long. You'll have good luck, and I do feel compelled to pick it up.
only if the heads are up, right?
That used to be the case, but now I'm not too good for the tails. I'll pick up the tails.
You'll pick up the tail.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I can't be that choosy with my luck. I'll take what I can get.
Mhm.
Have you
Yes.
been keeping up on your Only Fools and Horses watching?
You know what? I did watch another episode after you built it up. you, you said it was going to be this great episode.
No, no, no. I said it wasn't, and then I said it was going to be okay. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were saying it was a great episode.
No, no. At first I said it stunk, but then I realized no, no, no. It's good. It's
You
just
know
not
the episode I'm talking about.
watching the girls go by.
Yeah, where Del Boy sets up Rodders with a stripper, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Great
To,
use
to,
of the word rotters.
to win a bet
Yeah.
that Rodney got himself into a situation where he said he was going to bring a date to some sort of dance. He didn't have any eligible women that he could date, and so Del Boy set him up with a stripper he knew, I guess. Uncle Albert was in it for more time than I would have liked.
Of course.
He just takes the air out of every scene for me.
I mean, he just
Not that,
fought for his country when well,
just the memory of Grandpa is still.
I know. You love Granddad. We all love Granddad. I get it. All right. Did you like the episode? You gonna watch another
It,
one?
it was so. It felt like one of these, like, okay, this is a typical TV episode.
It wasn't a great one.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying. I'm like, it's
So
okay. It's not great, but
so is the next one great?
next one's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Next
All
one's
right.
a little more Yeah, next one's better.
Maybe this will be a regular feature. I'll just keep going one episode
Don't you tease me, my
for
friend.
for for all the people who don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Don't you dare tease me.
But
You
they
know,
are
I did
available.
a podcast of it through the first 3 seasons a couple of years
Uh-huh.
ago, every episode.
Uh-huh.
Maybe with your interest, I'll get going on season 4.
Did you get a fortune cookie from your Chinese the other night?
Yes, but I don't know where they went. I left them.
All
I'm
right.
not.
Well, I still have my stockpile here. So I've got a fortune. Courage is the hallmark of the warrior.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, that's not a fortune.
Uh,
Like a 2-year-old baby knows
uh-huh.
soldier courage.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fucking tough.
Yeah. No, that's maybe one of the worst ones
That's
we've
one of the
we've
worst,
gotten.
Mike.
It is. Yeah.
I'm
So
grouchy.
anyway,
All right.
I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button. We're over the 300 mark.
Oh,
We only need 200 more people to get our merch shelf on the channel on
all right.
YouTube.
When do we catch Mr. Beast? How far are we catching up?
We're a little ways off, yeah. Hit that like button. We appreciate the support, comments.
Mhm.
We have been selling the coffee mug seems to be the
Oh,
hot item.
I
So
gotta get one of those. Yeah.
check out the merch at the Egg Foo What channel on spring.com. I'm going to try and put the link in the description every week.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah,
Cool. Yeah, everybody do what Mike says. We love to see you in the comments. We'll love to see you at the merch. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
bye bye.